Welcome to 709 Meridian, an audio commentary podcast. My name's Andrew.
And this is D.
And we are back finishing up, sadly, we are finishing up our Judge Dredd duology here with 2012's Dredd. So it is now 12 years old almost. Still no sequel, still no spin-off series. Dredd 2012, of course, is from Alex Garland, who wrote 28 Days Later, a bunch of Danny Boyle stuff, and has now gone on to being a director of his own scripts. He did Ex Machina was the first one, Annihilation, Men, and Civil War was his latest one. He
the new one?
Yeah, he has left Danny Boyle behind and now does his own thing. It is directed by Pete Travis, who also directed, let's try to find something we've heard of. He directed Vantage Point in 2008. Got to keep Dennis Quaid in the news these days. Endgame, that Chiwetel Ejiofor William Hurt movie that I've never seen but was interested in, but looked like it was shot on like VHS. And then after Dredd, he did The Gunman, which was Sean Penn's attempt at doing he wrote it. Oh, Sean Penn co-wrote The Gunman. Wow, that's interesting. Anyway, but Alex Garland has subsequently come out and said, I actually directed all of Dredd. And you love me, so you're going to believe me. It stars Carl Urban, who at this point was coming off of, he wasn't coming off of much, right? He was coming off of Star Trek. He was in Red. He was a sidekick in the Priest one. This is in between Star Trek and Star Trek 2. It's before the Almost Human show. So this is when Carl Urban really, as much as Carl Urban was going to Carl Urban has subsequently broken out. But This came before the time they thought he was going to break out. This was like a precursor to breaking out.
His name was briefly kicked around to be the new Batman. And Warner, DC, y'all done messed up.
That would have been wild. But yeah, so he had sort of started the first time he was in Bourne Identity. Oh God, he was in one of the Lord of the Rings. Yeah, he was in Bourne Identity. Or Bourne Supremacy. He was like a hitman who had no lines. He was in the Doom movie, Pathfinder, and really Star Trek was where somebody was like, maybe he can do other stuff. But he actually got his start on Xena, Warrior Princess. Wow. Yeah, and White Fang, which, stars James Woolvett of Unforgiven and a 21-year-old Carl Urban. So that's very interesting. And no, he does not take off the mask. And he says he's not going to because he read the fucking comic and he loves it and he doesn't want to take off the mask. Also starring Lena Headey, I think before Game of Thrones. I don't remember when that started. But it was during Game of Thrones. So
that was on for a minute.
Yeah. So she sort of went from Sarah Connor Chronicles to Game of Thrones. So Game of Thrones, and then Wood Harris is in it. Wood Harris, still sadly best known for The Wire, which would have finished up long before this. So this was sort of him coming back for a bit, but he's since gone on to be in the Creed movies as I think like Cornerman. Yeah, the son of the Cornerman.
Tony Burton.
So sadly, that is probably a franchise that still haven't seen the third one for one reason. For one reason. I haven't seen it because I don't want to have to like a certain someone right now. And I know that I will like a certain someone's acting, won't I? Yes. He's not bad in it, is he? No, because he's good. So someday.
Well, I'll put it this way: when you're up against like a brick wall that can be Michael B. Jordan.
I was going to say, you're talking about Michael B. Jordan, aren't you? Oh,
with no real range or nothing. So it's not hard.
Oh. But came out in 2012. This movie was a bomb. It was a 3D movie. They thought it was going to be a big hit because it was 3D, but it was like
paid to see it in 3D.
And the 3D thing was sort of over by this time, and nobody had just accepted that, and or it was to the point where it wasn't going to make something a hit. And so Dredd, probably in the old days, it would have been in the theater 2 or 3 weeks. I mean, in the new days, it might have been in the theater 6 weeks. But despite people saying you need to see this, it's like, you like Assault on Precinct 13, you like this genre movie, that genre movie, you should really have seen this. Yeah. And
even outdoes the damn Resident Evil movies, which were kind of hot at the time.
So another movie that should have seen it in the theater if we wanted another one, basically. And the last time anybody talked about it, a sequel or anything, was a Judge's TV show that Carl Urban, the door was open for him playing Dredd on, and that has seemingly disappeared. A casualty of the pandemic. Of course, Carl Urban is only 12 years older now, so he can probably do this for another 6 to 10 years, depending on how much they'd have him do and how physical he wants to get. So we can talk about that. But if you are ready to go, I'm ready to head to the fallen earth, or whatever it's called.
Mega City
1. All right, here we go. Starting in 3, 2, 1, play. Lionsgate. Yes, we also have to wonder if Lionsgate maybe screwed this up, since they have not had that much success launching franchises other than Saw, right?
And Tyler Perry, but
yeah. Reliance is the name of the British company who paid for it. And how many openings are we going to have here? We don't do enough modern movies to have all the openings. Okay, here we go. This would, of course, then be the font for the Dredd comics for a few years, the covers.
Yeah. Well, here we go. Another desolate earth.
We're getting no text this time. Instead, we're getting
her voiceover.
Yeah. I wanted to put this on the Dredd intro, but I haven't yet. For ages. But yes, so we now get to see this very realistic Mega City 1, which not even the comics have ever really had.
No.
But now we're getting, so this is also post, what was that fucking movie called? District 9, right? So like the idea of doing pseudo found footage action. So if you are a fan of Dredd comics, you can look around and see some references throughout, including Judge Fergie being mentioned. Fergie was the name of Rob Schneider's character. Holy shit, since we last recorded, Rob Schneider's even gotten in more trouble.
Really?
Yeah, he got kicked off stage at something he was doing. But
couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
Yeah. So there we go. I bet that was awesome in 3D.
3D.
Okay. But what was not super clear when they advertised this was the concept, right? So the concept is it's a siege movie. Um it's not, but the preview made it seem more like it was a traditional just origin or something like that thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they sort of shot themselves in the foot by, well, I don't know if they really did. I think that somebody should have been able to market this enough that I would have seen it in the theater, right? Like,
Oh, here we go.
yep. So this is Nuke of Mega City 1. They're all on
Right.
Nuke, and it gives you slow reaction times, which would these effects would look awesome in 3D, everyone.
They did too.
And this was Dredd was a shot on 3D movie when that still mattered.
Yeah, you can
That
tell too.
yeah. Um Basically we've got at this point that we're recording this 2024, the only person who still shoots like this, I believe, is James Cameron, and everybody else is willing to just do conversion because 3D movies don't actually make enough money to be worth it, basically. Um, they're not worth the time or the effort, and the audience doesn't care. And someday soon, we'll get to the point where they're able to map uh, to 3D objects, right? Like the computer will say that's a truck, we'll make the truck. We know what a truck's depths are, we'll do it and stuff. And it'll be cool and whatever. And the world's going to shit, but it'll at least be technologically fun as it does. Um, I do dig the bike design. Like, if you're gonna do it, like we've seen so many movies where you've got somebody on a bike and they're not willing to figure out a practical way of doing the bike.
Yeah.
So like and what is this? This is 2012. When was Man of Steel? 2013. I think. So one thing about this sort of era of the action movie is that I don't think gets mentioned enough is the Battlestar Galactica um, effect. That Battlestar Galactica did a lot of uh, sci-fi grit, and it came up with a bunch of video styles. And this Man of Steel has some very direct references to it, and this reminds me of it at times too. Um, of course, RoboCop would get a remake a few years after this, and this is what a RoboCop movie could be like. Dredd was or
Yeah, you could
RoboCop,
have took the script and made a whole RoboCop movie out
right?
of it.
RoboCop was very dready, like it was an
Yeah.
American Dredd. But here we get just the face. Now, in the comics, it's I believe in some continuity. I don't know if it's ever gotten changed. Dredd is horribly disfigured and terrifying to behold.
Mm. That was it?
I think so.
I thought he
Uh,
just wore the helmet because
yeah, I thought there
he
was
was
one.
it was the law.
Yeah, no, that's I think I can't remember. Also, we have to mention that Stallone says this movie fucking sucks, and his movie
Oh.
was bitching.
Okay.
Somebody like interviewed him during Expendables press tour about it. Was like, "What do you think about that?" And he's like, "No, man, my movie's the right one."
Have a seat, Sylvester.
We could do Samaritan. I've never seen Samaritan.
I think I saw it. Your table is ready, Mr. Stallone. You want to have a seat, please?
Walking through that alley the whole time. Okay, so Dredd has just melted his head.
Hmm.
And now it's back to work. People appreciate the judges. And here we've got the computers or the machines taking care of the bodies. And there's a big arc. And I think I even read it about all the automated computers, automated robots in Mega City 1
Hmm.
going rogue. But I don't think I ever got to a comic where was she Anderson?
Yeah.
I never made it to an Anderson comic. I'll be
Well,
honest. Another reason that Dredd didn't really pop my radar was that it filmed in South Africa, and I find I find Afrikaner cinema, like, I find it weird that we're just gonna let them make movies. Like, I just find it weird. I'm sorry, I just do.
oh, you mean like the dude who does what? What's the one with the aliens?
District 9, that guy. Yeah, I find it weird that we're okay with that guy getting money to make movies. Like, I don't think what I'm saying is I don't think we should give Afrikaners jobs, is what I'm
Oh,
saying.
so
Prove me
Flint
wrong.
Heart Gold is out, huh?
I'm just saying, as far as we
You know,
knew until when we were kids, Mel Gibson agreed with me. He doesn't anymore, but when I was a kid, Riggs sure did. Oh,
no Flint Heart Gold because he's not Scottish. He was from Ithaca. They have to take that out now. The Disney comics.
really?
Yeah, that's why they changed it for the DuckTales cartoon. He wasn't Scottish in the comics.
Oh.
So here we have Anderson and Dredd, and I'm sure at this moment, them walking down the stairs like that, for whoever's a diehard fan. Oh my god!
No, see, Trent's not like that. The styles change too much. Like, it that's like the funniest idea of there being like a toxic fandom around Dredd is that it was always
Well, Dredd is still a cult thing. It never
right.
caught on.
Dredd never caught on, and some of that is because when they did try crossing him over to the US, um,
Well,
it was sort of he crossed over with Batman and stuff, and it's just like the humor doesn't work. Okay, so here we have Lena Headey, not Headley, Lena Headey. It's fantastic. And so I think this actually is a adaptation of a story.
hmm,
Um, so her character's from that, though
I
handled
don't think I ever read. I don't know. I might have read a couple every now and then, but never followed
well.
Judge Dredd at all.
So
It's it,
2000 or whatever, yeah, 2000 AD is serialized. So your Dread stories are only eight pages.
hmm.
So you're looking at like two or three for a floppy. Oh, this guy's in it, but his name's not important, or I don't know him enough. This Joe Pantoliano was busy guy, and Joe Pantoliano said no. Doug Hutchinson was a rapist, and who else? Right? Like, So,
Well, her mother gave us permission, see, and Reed
okay, so here we got Wood Harris.
Wood Harris, yeah,
Just no love for Wood Harris, even though he's as good as Idris Elba on The Wire. So it's really fucked up that like it's that whole thing where um black British actors get
yeah.
heat
They can't really
that black American actors never get. Like,
right. It's Wood Harris was good in the most recent thing I saw him in was the New Edition story.
okay.
He played the first manager or whatever, Brooke Payne. He was really good in that.
And I mean, maybe he doesn't want to do TV again or something, but like Wood Harris should have had a much better career. Okay, so in 3D,
Yeah.
of course, we're going to get this falling, but we're getting this really badass
Oh,
sequence.
dude, I remember when I saw this shit.
I mean, we're doing, the meanest jump scares you can because it's going
Yeah.
boom, we got you. Oh, we got two more to go though. Boom, we got you. Boom, we got you. Okay, so here we're getting some tech of this, and this is some very realistic tech. We just got to see the map of the fallen Earth. Um,
Now here, I can't remember, but the bikes they don't they don't fly, do they?
no, no flying. No, come on.
So they really did go grounded.
They went grounded because they needed to slap those things on.
'Cause I know there was like something people were like, "Oh, they don't fly." What?
I love this bit here. And this is like from one of the comics, and it's just really weird because it's like this visual, like not really visualized or not really explored, would the teenagers of this era be like, and the movie like does it, but it also like straightens it out. Like it's just such a
Mhm.
cool. The production design's really good on this.
It's really broad with the shots there.
Mhm.
I love that shot of them too.
Yeah, they're really trying to show off the scale of it when they can. It's apparently that's all Alex Garland, but
You
and
know,
the sort of
this could have been honestly. This is like kind of something Canon would have put out.
yeah, it is weird. You feel like if Canon could have gotten a license, they would
This
have
is
done
like a
this.
Canon film with a budget,
Right.
but
This is like the magical good Canon film or something. Yeah.
this is Arnold as Judge Dredd. Canon presents Arnold Schwarzenegger, Judge Dredd.
Got a really nice interior building here. I think we're gonna get.
Right.
We already got shot up, but we're seeing some of the shops behind it. We've got this dude who will be memorable, not not Bill Duke here.
Oh,
We got full on brains and
fragments.
yeah.
Skull. Got me picking up brain and skull.
Okay, so here we. Oh.
Oh God, he is like a not Bill Duke.
Yeah. So Dredd and the medic who's on the street all the time, they know more about what's going on than Anderson, who just got out of the
Yeah, she's the
academy or
rookie here.
whatever. She's the rookie, but she doesn't even have as up to date information as Dredd does, even though she should know new things, right? So
Yeah.
here we're just doing clips too. Now, this would be in a more American version, this would be that would have been, you could have cameos in all these bits, right? They could have been Bill Duke, the dispatcher could have been Rob Schneider or something. But the other thing is that that movie, the 95 one, that had a British director and a American screenwriter of a British comic about America. This has a British screenwriter of a British comic about America. Its cast is UK. Olivia Trilby's British. Carl Urban is something. What is it? Is he? He's no, he's
New
not. He's
Zealand,
New
right?
Zealand. So, but he's not American, right? Domhnall Gleeson's Irish. Wood Harris
Only
is
American is Wood
American.
Harris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lena Headey is got an accent, and so we're doing all this stuff. So this was also after they had made. Wasn't this after Punisher War Journal?
I think so.
If Punisher War Journal hadn't sucked, I think they would have had some more
that was the
goodwill
one
with
where
this.
they just completely were like, okay, fuck the Punisher for another decade,
Yep.
which they kind of stuck to.
Yep. Okay. So we're looking at this script and talking about the scale. It's very Escape from New Yorky in that the world is very thoughtful and like all the not mentioned context. So Judge Dredd already said.
Actually, I think that's reference to that shot there with
Oh yeah, that was a grid.
The grid
Oh,
shots
the grid
are
shot.
yeah, they say that. I think that was kind of a nod.
But Dredd has already said they only respond to 6% of the crimes a day. How long's it been since there's been a cop in peach trees? So we're setting up this like we're setting up that there's basically going to be an unlimited amount of potential ultra violence. And but what's different about the way Dredd does it, and presumably what Alex Garland brought to it and Carl Urban, is they just drop it all into his sort of lecture to Anderson. Okay. And she doesn't have her helmet.
No.
And the boys is back soon.
Oh yeah.
It's Carl Urban time.
And they're getting what's his name this season, right? Yeah. Walking Dead dude.
Oh, are they? Okay. I didn't know that.
Jeffrey Dean.
Oh, are they? Monique will like that. Okay, so here we've got another beautiful effects sequence. This is something that's also sort of gone away, is the idea that a comic book adaptation is going to do anything with visuals. I think we can thank Frank Miller's spirit for that. But this still was, we can do something cool with the visuals. And so they're doing this slow motion, just beautiful editing, gory 3D, just the disgusting ultra violence of it, right? Like, this is, I think, as sort of gross as the violence gets, is just this sort of like very slow motion, practically Three Kings level of, isn't this fucking repulsive? This is horrifying. We get the slow motion hands up over there. And we've got Anderson sort of as the audience's analog.
Just see that shit. Oh man.
But I mean, we've seen more procedure in this already, and we are 23 minutes in. We've seen more procedure in this than all of the other Judge Dredd movie, right? Like, this actually. Oh.
Mm. Yeah. Mm. Mm.
I love Carl Urban.
Yeah.
I mean, so that was the thing, and this goes back to RoboCop. This goes back to Batman. This goes back to sort of the superhero movie in general. Is the idea is that actors are not willing to cover up their faces, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, and he
And
went all in.
yeah, and at some point, Carl Urban was just kind of like, you know what I can fucking do instead? What if I just act with this? Which is basically to some degree what Peter Weller does, what
Mm-hmm.
Michael Keaton can do. Um, but it's very like Carl Urban really leans into it. And I would argue that we see this with Pattinson more than any Batman since Keaton in the
Mm.
current rendition.
Oh
That
yeah,
he
yeah.
he
He
gives
wore
some
it.
thought to that performance. And I mean, theoretically, Val Kilmer could have, but not with the way Schumacher directed his performance.
Yeah, because his Val was very. Mm,
Yeah,
I'd have to see a Schumacher cut, I guess, but I don't know if they
they,
could have got more life out of him.
yeah. I mean, and
They
fucking
just kind of.
Clooney. I mean, they should just do another
Clooney
one
was
with
Clooney,
Clooney. Should do
but
a
if Clooney were to do an actual Clooney version of Batman,
well, no, I think Clooney at this point should do an Adam Westish Batman. Because I don't think, I mean, just like we've seen George Clooney long enough that we don't buy him running that much. Like,
well, yeah, well, that's what you get the stand-in for,
yeah.
stunt guy.
Okay, so here's Domhnall Gleeson, who would go on to star in Ex Machina. He was in the Star Wars sequel trilogy.
Oh,
I don't,
okay.
yeah,
That's
I
General
don't,
Hux.
yeah, I don't know if he's had any like regular series that he's popular with, but he's very, popular with the A24 crowd, I
Mm.
guess, is what I would say, or at least was at some point. So, see, in the future, you can still find a human at the end because it's cheaper than AI or whatever. So, trying to think when. Well, no, because we do have regular sort of diehard-esque movies, right? Like the Siege full action, Siege breakout movie or whatever. Because those Olympus Has Fallen and White House Down, right? Those are just diehard-esque movies, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so the guy who didn't
Oh man.
move got smushed. I always love Wood Harris's note of that. I feel like that's like Wood Harris is really fucking good. Okay, so now there's somebody in their Apple Vision Pro. This is just the future. Those poor kids are going to be stuck outside, pinning that.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know if there's no pin in the roof, but the bad guys have now locked down peach trees for an emergency test because they know if Wood Harris leaves, he'll crack under questioning. And then
Snitch.
yeah, he's going to snitch. He can't resist a room full of Judge Andersons. They might have a medical, or they might have a brain zapping machine to get confessions too. I can't remember the comics. Okay.
Oh, this is the
Yeah. The
good evening,
first,
ladies and gentlemen.
yeah, this is our first monologue. And so, what this movie does not address and what goes unsaid is that Anderson proves that while you might be able to get away with Judge Dredd not having any facial expressions, you need his sidekick to have facial expressions. You need Anderson to be able to fully panic and all the things and show all
Yeah,
the range that like we
Dredd.
don't get out of Dread because it is true that it it's a different medium than comics. Like acting in that you could do a Dread stage play where they all had masks on, but you can't do a movie, not like this. Okay. So we are 30 minutes in, we got 65 minutes left, and we've basically just gotten to the idea the judges are they're going to be hunted in this enclosed space. So it's sort of like The Raid or whatever that movie is. There's The Raid and there's the other one. It's The Raid where they're all fighting in that building, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is also post Raid.
So yeah, the raid, attack the block, all
Attack
that
the
shit.
Block, that one, yeah. Everybody really liked this idea for a few years because you can reuse sets, you can,
Well,
shoot
it's
indoors.
very much like Bruce Lee's original idea for Game of Death. The pagoda, fight your way up the pagoda type movie. Each level.
And as Dee was mentioning earlier, we saw a bunch of like
Oh
background outside. Inside, you'll note the shots are all going to be really tight, and that
yeah.
way we can reuse things and you're not going to notice. Okay.
Oh,
Pay attention to White Boy. He's important. Big Bill Duke, positioned opposite White Boy. Jim True Forest, actually. They should have asked Jim True Forest. Especially since he was on The Wire. Okay. So they think they can go to Med Bay because that guy's going to help them out.
mm.
Let's give them the good news. I mean, is it worth doing an AI Stallone voice and dubbing this? It kind of might be. It'd be hilarious.
Ah, no, this is too good.
Yeah. Well, okay, so there's also the piss yellow action genre, which is what um Punisher, what's it called is. Punisher War Journal is that piss yellow thing. They expand it here, so it's like they still do it because it does work with these some things, but they've expanded it, so it's very self-aware. Just just a really good action movie in an era where we don't have these that often anymore.
Mm.
It's a lot easier to do a sci or a horror movie in the modern era for cheap than it is an action movie or like this type of action movie.
Honestly, I could see this version of Dredd working as like a those '90s weekend action shows
Oh yeah.
using the same set over and over again
Yep.
and the costume.
Mm-hmm. Because I mean, that's the thing is, yeah, especially now, the fact that they can't get this done is unfortunate.
Paige Fletcher is Judge Dredd.
Jesus, you just film it down the street from the boys in this era of stand-ins. That's always my favorite. I was watching. What the hell was I watching? I think The Mandalorian. And at some point in it, the episode, I'm just like, I don't know why they didn't get certain better actors if they were just going to be played by stand-ins most of the time.
Hmm.
I'm just like, I mean, that's not whoever I was thinking of. So just get a better actor, like
Yeah,
to do their dialogue. Like,
it's hard to watch Blade 2 because there are some glaring fucking scenes in that movie where it's clearly not Wesley. But I love Blade 2, you know.
yeah. Okay. Again,
And
it's sort of weird. Nobody ever says we should watch Dredd in black and white, given the comic is black and
right, where you at, you guys? Where's my black and white edit of Dredd? Where's the Soderbergh cut or whatever the fuck?
uh,
And that actually this would work too,
yeah. I'm
even
just looking at the light up there. Yeah.
with the effects and shit when they do
Mhm. That T-shirt, that shirt wouldn't have worked with VHS though. Did you see that pattern? Okay, so Anderson can use her psychic powers to convince people to know things about people. So
the.
in this case, they have found refuge thanks to this.
Wow, this is very similar to Enemy Territory,
Oh damn.
another movie we have to do. It's another block picture where Ray Parker Jr. and Gary Frank, TV's family's Gary Frank, run afoul of a street gang in the projects. And the street gang is led by Tony Todd.
Hell yeah.
It's great.
And it's not. Oh, it's a Charles Band. Oh my God, Ernest Dickerson shot it.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Gotta get that shit.
Ernest Dickerson shot it season. That'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, wait. Her man is Jim Trueforest, and she just killed Jim Trueforest because he tried to kill her. So that's sad.
It's something she gotta live with. These tough, gritty streets of the dystopian future.
And the question is, did Dredd see that picture? Yeah, he did.
Hey, what if I don't know, what if Mad Max had stumbled upon Mega City? Could that be possible? I don't know. Because it is more of a slightly high tech Mad Max.
Right.
'Cause to me, all these fucking dystopian futures is all the same shit. They don't have no hope for us.
And I mean, the burned or the torched earth or whatever it's called, that could be
Mm,
where Mad Max hangs out.
right. On the outskirts, and then he just kind of, I don't know,
They never
makes his
did.
way.
They never did Mad Max comics, though, did they? Did they even do a tie-in for Thunderdome?
I don't know. I thought they might have done one for the Road Warrior, though. Like a Marvel special. I don't know. But because they were big
Yeah,
on those.
yeah, they were.
I think they even did a James Bond.
It was like a weird one though. It was like the spy who loved me or some shit, or like
Right.
you only live. Yeah, it's just like what? All right, no more watching. Okay, and we also have to point out that the judge's guns, are no longer uh, sort of '90s prop department stuff. They got real, gunsmiths to make them.
All right. So they can, if ever possible, realistically make them in the real life.
Yeah, yeah. There's Jesus. That's fucking depressing. We've got to think about getting our real licensed guns made. Like, Jesus. All right. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. So Anderson has the choice to kill Wood Harris, and she doesn't do it here.
Hmm.
And so now because now they're under attack. I think we get to see another shot. So basically, I am convinced that Carl Urban's walking through the same set over and over again from different angles.
Oh yeah, they keep making them go around the same corner and
Yep,
shit.
that's a nice one. Got our so yeah. I mean, this is just kind of this. How can we do this on a budget? And what they really just did was is it's just cheaper to do all these sort of um, editing effects now.
Mm. Yeah, Wood Harris has been around for a while too. Still just kind of playing this guy.
Yep.
They never. He should have got a lot of the chances Boris Chestnut got. Damn it.
Right. Damn. Yeah.
Boris Chestnut got to even have a TV show. So I don't even know. Did Wood Harris ever had a show?
Not after the wire, I don't think.
Mm, see. Oh,
Did you already make him pee? Do we miss that when she goes into his brain and freaks him out so much he pees?
no, I don't think so.
Okay.
That would be something to really fix him.
Here we go. Was this before or after The Last Stand, the Schwarzenegger movie with the big gun sequence?
Oh, I have been around the same time.
Yeah. And Lionsgate. Well, but yeah, so this very much gives off the vibes of they shot this after they shot everything else because this is where they destroyed the set.
Yeah, all the carnage. Ah!
And so, yes, instead of sending people to go kill Dredd, Mama's gonna, you know, take out the whole level. And we're getting this incredible sequence where we then have to think about how, in this circumstance, Anderson's like a Jedi, so all of the 1,000 screams at once or whatever, and then
Mhm.
falling silent. Her metachlorians are buzzing. That is the theme song from the Matt Berry show Snuff Box, because Domhnall Gleeson was a fan. Very funny British show. Um, So they concentrate that's always thrown me. They concentrate the fire, but it's like on what? Like that's a whole level
Right.
of the building. Like,
Like, how do they know? Like,
yeah. Okay. So they finally
yeah.
get out of the building and it is nighttime. Very Die Hard 2 shot there. It's nighttime. The teenagers are all outside and cold, but stoic. And
Oh no, it's it's solar babies.
it's solar babies now. They're going to team up with the kids and get on the roller skates.
Yeah.
And so now they assume the judges are dead or something. I'm trying to think, when did we start adding two people to the Die Hard situation?
Hmm.
Like, where it's a buddy movie to some degree, when, like,
With
that's
a
what,
vengeance.
with, well, no, but that's just a die, that's Die Hard in
Okay.
name.
Wait a
I
minute.
mean, okay. Two and three, or three and four are not like
Well, okay.
siege movies,
Because
right? Where
I
you're
was about to say, live free or die hard.
no,
Because
yeah. No, what I mean is like these two, they're trapped in this situation together where you have the two. Ooh, look at that.
it's Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
so all this shit was way up there.
37th floor or something. You got 34 so hostages on the 34th
Well,
floor.
hold
Or,
on. When they walked in, weren't those kids down there on the ground floor?
nope.
What?
That was during, no, it was in a big establishing shot of them up in the sky. It was
Oh,
future
okay.
stuff. Yeah,
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 you're
future
right.
stuff. Okay, so here we're waiting. They're just
Hello.
waiting. Oh, here we go. So they've gone over to clear them, including our sidekick guy who has just gotten completely thrown over, and that's it. Mama's out of ammo and
He had a chance
dreads.
to just blast him right there, though. Eh, surprise! I'm still alive. Bow, bow.
Oh, here it is.
Mm,
This is where she makes him pee himself
yep.
because this is the interrogation where Wood Harris isn't gonna.
This is very Indiana Jones, too.
Yes. And I mean, that's another whole genre that, or franchise that learned to some
Hmm.
degree, you give them a buddy.
Yeah, you need a good sidekick. I'm not sure about her in this though. It's not that you need somebody stronger. It's just
She
uh,
gets it together by the third act.
yeah, it's one of those.
Yeah. I mean, in some ways, maybe this is her first big scene.
Right, where she's not.
Yeah.
It's Jean Grey.
Yeah. I wonder what they're going to do with Jean Grey in the Marvel X-Men. It's gone bad. Okay. But
it's
then what we basically get is,
it's the power reversal sequence from
yeah.
Superman 2.
Oh
That
my
would,
God. They make the nuke there. It's like RoboCop.
dude, that would be funny as hell to see that shit with all that crazy shit edited.
So what's amusing about this, of course, is that Mama is terrorizing Domhnall Gleeson to get him to perform adequately. But it's like, yes, it's impressive he can do it under pressure, but you would think she would rather prefer him to be calm while just bullshitting the
Uh-huh.
things. So bad management from Mama there.
Yeah, they should re-release this.
Okay. I don't think
Is there a director's cut? There's got to be a longer
there's
cut.
there's like
Damn.
nothing. Yeah. Okay. So here we've got this little kid. Oh, it's the two kids from Swamp Thing.
Get my dad's camera.
Well, why didn't they just hire, even if the director didn't really direct it, why didn't they hire this fucking guy to direct RoboCop? Like,
Mm,
I think they hired the guy who directed The Raid to do RoboCop, actually.
really?
It was somebody like that. Yeah.
Well, it was always mm,
Yeah.
it was always on that block, the list. Like we got to remake this.
Yeah.
It went through a lot before it even got made.
I mean, the RoboCop 2000 rumor, even the Peter Weller and Paul Verhoeven coming back after
Mm.
Starship Troopers or whatever. Um, yeah, and they really did not. Um, they really did not have anything sort of good to do with that. Like it was so day. It was very weird too because they theoretically should have they theoretically had all the pieces they needed to
Mm.
do it, except Joel Kinnaman, obviously. But then they just
Mm.
totally didn't know what the fuck to do with it in a post Iron Man in a PG
Well, yeah.
13
See, that was the thing. It
Marvel
was a
world. Yeah.
They were trying to make it a superhero movie, and
Okay, so
it,
now Anderson has been kidnapped by the guy who has filled her mind with his, threats of what he's going to do. And so
mm,
she's
they dropped her in the tank.
appropriately terrorized. But what's going to happen here?
Mm.
Nope. Nope. See? Just
Mm.
like Judge Dredd said.
Oh yeah, would this be too woke now?
Yes, it would be.
Badass female villain, because
It'd be too woke.
she's good, but they would just tear this whole shit down.
Nope. Okay, so Anderson now gets to just be regularly killed so they can cover up what's happened here. So lucky Anderson. Okay, so now we're gonna let Carl Urban have the monologue so they can track down where he's at and go get him. I imagine Carl Urban in this scene was looking at a picture of Stallone with his mouth open, yelling in the bar.
That close up at the end of Rambo
Yep.
2 and shit. Mm.
There's the ladies making it.
Dun dun dun. Dun,
So
dun.
this is kind of the thing that at best, the best sort of Americans have ever been able to do this was maybe some of the dirty, hairy stuff. But the problem is that Clint Eastwood's doing it straight faced propaganda, where this is, commentary about the ultra violence of American culture and entertainment and such. So it's like you don't really have a lot of. You've sort of seen this since then, right? Like the Barenthal Punisher, and maybe even I don't know how many monologues Daredevil gets, but like this whole idea that we're gonna have the we're gonna get a lecture from the unstoppable hero, right? Like
Hmm.
we don't get Batman doing this yet, right? Like that's the thing about the Marvel and even or the DC and Marvel stuff is they keep the interactions between, you
Well,
know,
it's snark.
yeah,
You
but
know, most of the Marvel characters are smartasses. You
but
know,
they remove the regular people analogs from those situations or turn it into the
hmm
family. Because you
yeah,
can have Miss Marvel giving her brother shit. It's a little bit different if she's like terror. Well, they do it on the show though, so I mean that's why Miss Marvel's great. But anyway, um, but this whole idea of it regular people in these worlds interacting with the heroes or the whatever the super gods or whatever they were going to be called in Alan Moore's version of Crisis or whatever that was his the superhero thing that the twilight of the superheroes or whatever
uh,
that he wanted to do. It was his big crossover and they said no. Okay, so these are the dirty judges who have just shown that they can get in without these two boneheads who weren't able to get them to open the door for
uh.
15 minutes of real time or something. And now, but too bad, um, the medic is going to come down and think they're regular cops. Boom.
Oops.
Don't tell the dirty cops. But I mean, it also's got nice Die Hard 1 vibes, right? Like you are still in this sort of, it's,
Yeah.
Poltergeist 3 vibes, if you were.
Well, it's very video game-ish too. Like,
Yeah,
here come the hard bosses before
right.
the sub bosses before you get to the actual boss.
Okay. This is always fun because how the hell are you going to tell them apart when they're also purposely obscuring their badges and the
Hmm.
set all looks exactly the same? Okay, ammo low. Does somebody fuck around with one of the guns? I can't remember.
All right, isn't that another thing? Wasn't that from the other movie where you can't even shoot the gun without?
Yeah, you can't shoot the gun. I'm trying to remember. I think you might just get ammo off of them. So we're at 68 minutes. I think this is basically just a sprint to the end now.
Yeah,
Like,
this is just that's why they brought him in so late.
yeah. The most fun you can have in a fight scene: two identically dressed people fighting.
Well, they do it again in Avengers. Oh, well, then you got these variant suits.
Mhm. You got the big guy who, when you get him, he'd be regular sized. I don't
Uh
remember
oh.
what happens. Sure.
Hmm. Or then somehow she psychs him out or something.
I don't remember. I
Oh.
feel like he should have known that though. Okay. And so now she's going to be,
Oh,
despite not having a helmet, yeah, she's going to be a badass now. No more being nice, just fucking,
yeah, going at it.
yep.
Or sidebar mission.
Right, exactly.
Who is
Okay.
this fool with the hair?
So the other judge going after Anderson does not know that Anderson's a psychic. So, okay. Um, Here we are, RoboCop in the RoboCop 2 going on right here. RoboCop in the nuke factory.
Factory.
Kane! Kane makes me angry. Or Kane bugs me.
And bugs me. Nuke.
I think we get an action sequence in the nuke factory, yeah.
I work for Dick Jones. Dick Jones.
Too bad about Kurtwood Smith. Ah, we've got tile. We've got to have some tile gunshots. It's so much fun.
Yeah, ping. Well, 3D. You
Ah,
gotta
good
have
point.
the.
Yeah, okay.
Didn't they re-release The Matrix in 3D or some shit?
Did they do that? Maybe.
Or they did something like that.
What's also nice about this is that we don't really, we're not getting Dredd being super aware of the situation, right? We don't have the impression. Like is seemingly in some kind of danger during the sequence, whereas
Mm-hmm.
in your superhero movie, you need to have a hostage at all times for that because your hero's indestructible. The meat grinder, here we go. And Dredd was surprised, but good thing there's some tile because he's out of bullets,
Oh.
but he's still got some high X. There we go.
Yep.
Shoot that tile. Shoot that tile. So if that judge had just done what she told Mama, it would have been fine. But she didn't. Ooh. Dredd is down. Okay, so this clearly means we're in
That was a
trouble
big
for the
ass hole
movie.
too.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
We've established that there's a big hole. We've established that he's in trouble. What's going to happen?
Oh wait.
Okay, so now we've got our predator moment, and we've
Oh.
got yeah, because we've got some future technology, folks. Thank goodness.
Dun, 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 dun. Jeez. Back and ready to go.
Well, who cleaned up his back? Okay. Anyway, he's got his bullets. She likes her submachine gun. Now she looks ready. All right. Time for Act 3 of the action movie, folks. 17 minutes with credits.
All right, here's boss level.
Lena Headley's out of sidekicks other than Domhnall Gleeson here with his Windows 95 screensaver. Okay, so Anderson's a tough guy, not fucking around anymore, but she's just discovered that he's a victim. Okay. Yep. But
Uh-oh.
they could just make another one, is the thing, though, right? Like,
Yeah.
she can just be 12 years older, right? Like, he can just be 12 years older. It's fine.
Yeah, because they don't have to be a
Nope.
specific age or anything for
Nope.
these.
Just make another one.
Or is she one of those, I don't do violent movies anymore?
Yeah. Uh, okay, hold on. What's Mama just done? Like, I just don't understand why you wouldn't do a streaming show. Like,
Yeah, I can see a show. You don't even, it doesn't even need to be high tech or anything.
okay. Anderson's hit, but we've already established that the field dressings do a good job, so we don't need to worry about her.
Mm.
Of course, on her wall of trophies, there appear to be a judge helmet and coat that must have a story in the Art of
Where's the alien
Dredd
head?
book.
Where's the alien skull? Xenomorph.
Okay. So Lena Headley has set up a heart rate monitor, and she's gonna otherwise. And if she dies, it's gonna blow up the block.
Mm.
Dredd doesn't care though. So now he has wounded her.
Mm.
Carl Urban clearly practiced making ugly faces. Look at this.
Sneer, the sneer,
Mhm.
the dread sneer.
Mhm. Aw, we could have
Ooh,
done it. I knew you'd say that.
wow,
I bet this
that should
looked
be a poster.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah, because that was when I was in Texas. No, I wasn't in Texas. I think I saw it out here, and yeah, because it was at the Village Crossing. I believe I snuck into something else after it.
We get our nice amount of smoke for all of our stuff here.
Ah,
Whoever came up with that did a very good job.
oh, if some
Hmm.
ah splat for spunk. Ugh.
I think that's the third or fourth squished head we get in the movie. With
Uh,
the hot shot, with the one that,
oh, there's a lot. There's
yeah, the guy who goes over the head or over the balcony, and then when Anderson shoots that guy when she toughs out. Okay, so here's the signal, and it's fine.
uh,
I mean, I would have just done something that instead of sending a signal when I died, I would have it send a signal all the time until I died. I mean, that would be the other way of doing it. Okay, so Anderson's okay. He's getting a field dressing. Dredd doesn't even have to take off her top to do it. Everything's going to be good. Didn't need her helmet anyway.
uh.
And it's morning.
Oh, it's the Tyrell headquarters. Uh, oh, they,
And there's just three people waiting to come get them and some medics.
oh, something is going on outside. I don't know if that's fireworks or thunder. God damn.
Okay, Anderson thinks she's lost her job. I mean, shit, she can have her own fucking show. Like,
Yeah.
somebody did make a
Mm.
um somebody made like one of the expensive fan films
Mm.
called Judge Minty about a guy who goes on his long walk and like gets 20 feet into the cursed earth and has to have a 13-minute adventure.
Mm.
um but the guy who I think is the executive producer on this, we'll see his name in a second. Oh, still not there. Still not there. Eddie Shankir. He produced that Dirty Laundry short,
Oh
the
wow.
Punisher
The
short.
Punisher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he like sort of said he was going to do one for this, but he never did. He instead did a cartoon and was like, it's the same idea. It's like,
Cartoon.
he did
Oh.
like a flash animation cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So, oh, first is Lee Gromit is probably not the comic creator whose name is Gromit, but who knows? Ugh. Chief Judge doesn't have a name. Um, how much credits do we even have? Oh, we got 4.5 minutes, 5 minutes of credits. We got a long time to wait before Sam Jackson shows up. But yeah, so Dredd came and went. There were a couple attempts at like fan campaigns, like they did a make Dredd #1 on Amazon thing where everybody bought the Blu-ray or DVD and pushed it to #1 for a day. But it's
Mm.
just kind of like they were the guy was just like, it's just not enough money
No.
to convince anybody of anything. The guy said the only way you're going to get a Dredd 2 is if for some reason The Rock decides he wants to be in one. And then somebody would make it. And that was in like 2015. It's not even a post Black Adam Rock comment. So,
Yeah. You got to get somebody behind it. If old Goof Troop wasn't such a dummy,
right.
what's his name? John Cena. He can't take anything seriously. God.
Yeah. So that's kind of where you're at. And apparently, not even the guys, Seth Rogen and his partner, like it enough to try to do one with their boys' success at Amazon.
Uh,
But because it seems like it'd be a very simple fucking procedural to do, you just follow some judges around and Carl Urban's David Caruso is it, and you're fine.
yeah.
Like,
He doesn't even have to be there every episode.
right. Or you film all of his scenes at the beginning, which is what I assume during the season, which is what I assume they did
Yeah,
with
do
David Caruso.
Do him like what's his name used to do? Um, was it Fred McMurray?
Oh yeah, shit, that's right. Oh my god, that's right. Yes. Do it like Fred McMurray. Come on. Uh, but no, we can't have nice things. Um, well, I don't, and I guess Alex Garland is not invested because, like, it's not like he's ever said he wants to be involved in the second one. Though apparently he was gonna write the second one.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, they just kind of threw their hands up with the Judge Dredd.
yeah, the whole idea was this was a proof of concept, and then the next one would be
The bigger.
the bigger, and it's just kind of like it came at the wrong time for this. I'm sure if they had done this in 2005, that would have been about the right time to do this kind of thing, like that type of launch of something, but not in 2012, not
No.
when streaming was, 3 years away from where it would be, like, not Pablo Green. No, that's not a comic artist. Chris Hardman. No, maybe I don't know. Well, Jock did the designs for it, which was a big deal, but also
Mm.
like not even the people who bought the Jock, fucking variant covers went to go see it in the theater. Like Dredd got no love. Here's your conversion artist. Maybe it wasn't shot on 3D. Sort of assumed it was.
Well, this is before it all just became a complete wall of words.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I mean, especially if you're trying to get to 95 minutes and 51 seconds. That's 96 minutes. Like,
So we're already at the soundtrack.
yep, there you go. Snuffbox, Matt Berry. Archive footage. Special thanks. Thanks to everybody at
Writers,
2000
artists, editors,
AD. The Judge Minty team.
editors.
That's the name of that short, was Minty. I wonder if it was Judge Minty borrowed some of their outfits. Who knows? And the end of Judge Dredd, or of Dredd, and sadly of our Judge Dredd duology. Um,
Uh,
yeah.
huh,
So there we go.
very good.
We don't know what we're doing next week, so we'll be back next week though.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Because
Yep. What are you gonna say?
Dredd was great,
Yep.
or at least this one was
Oh.
a good palate cleanser compared to the other one. So,
We could do Precinct 13s next.
well, what else we got?
We haven't written anything down, so we'll figure it out. But
Right.
that's a possibility because we could very easily always do with remakes. You can always do the Carpenters
Oh yeah.
because they've all fucking been remade except for Escape from New York. Thank God, no fucking Jared Butler as Snake Plissken. All right, we'll figure it out, folks.
Man.
We will figure it out, and
Yes,
maybe
sir.
I'll remember, and Fake Willie will tell you what we're watching in a minute. But until then, we'll see you next week.
Goodbye, y'all.
Ladies and gents, gather round, raise your glass high. A toast to 709 Meridian, Andrew, and Dee. Let's amplify. For their take on Dredd, the helmet stays on in a world where justice and chaos are never gone. Carl Urban's in the lead, steadfast and true. Lena Headey as Mama in a role that grew. From Mega City 1, where the law's hard and fast, this episode's insight, sure to be a blast. They spoke of Garland, the writer with flair, from 28 Days to Dredd. His touch is rare. A film bombed at the box, but found love in time. Through 709's lens, it's truly prime. And next on their journey, a chilling delight. 1982's The Thing in all its fright. John Carpenter's classic, a horror grand, with Kurt Russell's performance, so firmly it stands. So here's to the episodes, past and to come, to the deep dives and laughs and all the fun. A salute to the duo, 709's finest pair in the world of podcasts, none other compare.
In the year of 28, a land turned to dust and ash, where the cursed earth stretches. Post-war's deadly clash, mega city one rises, with millions in despair. A city of crime and violence, justice thin as air. Judgment in the cursed earth, where the judges stand. In a world of chaos, they hold the law in hand. Dredd and the sun fight in the tower of dread, to bring justice to beech trees where many lives have fled. Chief Judge calls on Dredd, a veteran in the fray, to test young Cassandra, whose psychic powers sway. In peach trees they enter, where mama rules with fear. A den of drugs and terror, where death is always near. Judgment in the cursed earth, where the judges stand. In a world of chaos, they hold the law in hand. Dredd and the sun fight in the tower of dread, to bring justice to beech trees where many lives have fled. Mama's cruel declaration, skinning men alive, infused with deadly slow-mo. They plummet and they dive. Dredd and Anderson raid, they capture Mama's kin, but she seals the tower. The real fight now begins. Through floors of death and danger, they battle Mama's might. With guns and psychic prowess, they push on through the night. A city of corruption, where even judges fall, but Dredd and Anderson stand against it all. With cannons roaring wildly, walls tearing in the blast, Dredd's relentless justice, a force that will not pass. Anderson torments Kay, the truth she does reveal. The heart of Slow-Mo's empire, beneath Mama's steel heel. Judgment in the cursed earth, where the judges stand. In a world of chaos, they hold the law in hand. Dredd and Anderson fight in the tower of dread, to bring justice to beech trees where many lives have fled. Corrupt judges enter, the traitors of the law. Anderson fights for justice, despite her fatal flaw. Kay's arm is blown to shreds, Anderson breaks free. With Dredd they face the final, their victory decree. A threat to blow them all. Dredd's cunning sees through it and sends her to her fall. Slow-mo fills her senses as she plummets to her end. Judgment stabbed in peach trees, the judges stand defend. With order now restored, Dredd